Alright, so last video for today surrounding the Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary event. Let's just jump right into this, alright? We're going to be analyzing the Kingdom Hearts 4 reveal trailer. So, you know what, bro? Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Let's do this. The Lost Master arc. I figured that's what they would call it. I figured that would be the name of the new saga, the Lost Master Saga, Lost Master Arc. Oh, let me pause right here. All right, first thing I want to talk about. You see on this column here in this building, whatever building it is, you see on this column, it's got these strange symbols. And if you pay attention close enough, these symbols were also seen in Scala at Kylum. I believe they were seen on the ethereal platform that you fight Xehanort on in the final battle, as well as, I believe, armored Xehanort in the Remind DLC, if I'm not mistaken. But it's some kind of weird Scala alphabet, and there is actually like this whole list of these symbols that was at the 20th anniversary event. And people apparently were able to take some of these symbols, put them together, and somehow decode that Kingdom Hearts 4 was going to be announced at the event. But yeah, they do correlate to actual letters and numbers in the real world. So Nomura went and created his own freaking alphabet for the Kingdom Hearts series. That's some J.R. Tolkien stuff right there. That really is. That is some straight up Tolkien type of dedication to your world and to your lore, to the world building, and you gotta give props to Nomura for that. But that's pretty cool. I have no idea what this says. I believe the symbols on the far side over here actually translate to the number 7 and the number 13, so make of that what you will. I have no idea what the rest of these symbols mean, though. Okay, so moving on. The heart resides within the soul, which in turn is guided by fate to its rightful place. All right. So, first of all, I talked about this earlier. I released a video earlier discussing this particular scene, and a lot of people are speculating that this may, in fact, be a scene that hints at a Star Wars world being in Kingdom Hearts 4. Specifically Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, because this looks strikingly similar to the Forest Moon of Endor. The trees, the environment, even this waterfall I found out later, it all looks very similar to the Forest Moon of Endor that was in Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. So, Star Wars world confirmed? Maybe? I did a video about this earlier asking people, what do they think? Do they think this is going to be a Star Wars world? Could this be a Star Wars world based on Episode 6, Return of the Jedi? And how do you guys feel about it? How do you feel about Star Wars coming into Kingdom Hearts if, and that's a big if at the moment, that is a huge if, all right? Take this with a massive 3-ton grain of salt. If this is a Star Wars world, how do you guys feel about Star Wars coming into the Kingdom Hearts series? I used to be kind of iffy about it, but I'm kind of okay at this point. I'm kind of okay with it at this point because, Nomura is a madman. We all know that Nomura is a madman. And, I'm here for the ride. I'm here for the ride. I'm all for it at this point. And if there is going to be a Star Wars world in Kingdom Hearts 4, if it's going to be based off of Return of the Jedi, hey, I'm very happy about that. Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie. I think, I love it. To me, that is the end of the story. I just ignore the Disney sequels. I just throw them out. Don't care. To me, this is the end of the story. This is the end of George Lucas's story, is Return of the Jedi. So if they're going to have a Star Wars world in Kingdom Hearts 4, I would want it to be based off of Return of the Jedi. Just imagine how much fun it would be to fight Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine. It would be so much fun. But yeah, I'm going to have some comparison shots up here of Endor from the movie, from Episode 6. And you can compare it to the images of this forest in the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, but it does look strikingly similar to Endor from Star Wars. One other thing I did want to point out, if you look right up here in the corner, you can see what appears to be, and I'm not lying here, it appears to be the foot of an AT-AT from Star Wars. If you don't know what an AT-AT is, I'll put it up here on screen for you. It could be an AT-ST also, maybe, but I think it looks more like an AT-AT foot. But if you don't know what those are, I'm going to put them up on screen for you so you can make the comparison yourself. They're these giant machines that the Empire uses in Star Wars. But this up here, up in the corner, looks a lot like an AT-AT foot. Another hint that this could be the Forest Moon of Endor. This could be a Star Wars world. Possibly. And again, at this point, I'm not against it. Regardless, though, it looks freaking beautiful. And here we have our boy. Here we have Sora looking clean, looking fresh. And I'm not gonna lie. I think Sora is kind of taking a bit of inspiration from Noctis's character design. I've heard a lot of people say that, and the more I look at it, yeah, especially when it comes to like the way the hair is styled, it's very Noctis-like. It really is. But Sora looks more realistic. He looks more like a Final Fantasy character. Bro, I'm still having a hard time just wrapping my mind around it, because I never expected anything like this. I knew we were probably going to get a somewhat more realistic style, kind of like what we did in the Remind DLC with the Yozora secret boss fight, but I never thought Nomura was going to take it this far, but it really does work. I think Sora looks amazing like this. I really do. Look at those graphics, man. Look at those graphics. And then we have our girl, Strelitzia. Yo, ever since she got taken out in Union Cross, we have all been wondering what happened to Strelitzia. And turns out she's been in Quadratum this whole time. She's been in Unreality. But this does kind of, lead to some confusion about how death works in the Kingdom Hearts series, because, we saw the player character in Union Cross die, and the player got reincarnated into Xehanort. Sora didn't really die, but, he abused the power of waking and got sent to Unreality. Strelitzia, from all that we could tell in Union Cross, did straight up die, and she also ended up in Unreality, in Quadratum. So, again, does reincarnation exist in the Kingdom Hearts series? Or, it's just, I don't know, it just kind of seems to, conflict a little bit here. You have Xehanort reincarnating, so it makes you think, that, oh god, Sora looks so good. It makes you think that reincarnation is the rule of thumb when it comes to what happens after you die. But then you have Sora, and, well, more specifically Strelitzia, because Sora didn't technically die, but Strelitzia did die, and instead of reincarnating, she ended up in Unreality. So why didn't she reincarnate like Xehanort did? It's very confusing, but apparently this is some kind of afterlife realm. We're going to have Strelitzia confirm that for us later on here in a bit. But yeah, it's just, when it comes to death in Kingdom Hearts and what happens to people when they die in this series, it's very confusing at this point. It really is. Look at them feet, though. Oh, goodness. Look at Sora's feet. Guys, Sora actually has feet. And, they're not as big as I thought they would be, in all honesty. But yeah, the man has feet. This is the first time in the entire freaking series that we get to see Sora's feet. And I know that's a weird thing to obsess over, but we've always wondered, is Sora's feet really that damn big? You see the clown shoes, man. You see the clown shoes, which, by the way, the clown shoes get retired in this trailer. But we look at the clown shoes and we think, Sora's feet must be freaking massive. Turns out, no, his feet look pretty damn normal. It's just, you know, apparently he likes wearing his shoes on the larger size. You know, he wants a lot of foot room in those things, I guess. But yeah, he doesn't have abnormally large feet, apparently. But it's just them feet, though. Wow. And of course, the graphics, everything in this game, I mean, it looks so beautiful. And speaking of the graphics, there was some news that came out, and if you want to link to the news that's been coming out surrounding these trailers, surrounding these games, I'm going to leave links to an article on KH13.com as well as KHinsider.com down in the description box below, so you can check that out for yourself. But according to the news that's been coming out that has added some context to these trailers, to these games, this trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4 is made in the Unreal Engine 4, which is the same engine used to develop Kingdom Hearts 3. But the final game, the final version of Kingdom Hearts 4 will be in Unreal Engine 5. So, as hard as it is to believe, Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to look even more beautiful when it's done. I think this looks great right now. I would play this in a heartbeat, but the final game is going to be even better, and I just can't freaking wait, bro. I really can't. Okay, so hold on a second. There's something here I want to point out, and you know, I can't believe Nomura thought he was going to get away with this. If you look here in the background, you have, you know, some stuff. You have D Dream right here, and then over here you have D Eater. Now, come on, man. D Eater? D Eater. Really? Really, Nomura? You thought you were going to get away with that? That is so lewd. That is so grotesque. D Eater. I see what you did there, Nomura. I see what you did there. But no, in all seriousness, it probably, you know, is a shout out to Dream Eaters. I'm just pulling your leg, Nomura. And then we have Darkseid's big brother coming out here. But before we get to that, yeah, right here, Strelitzia confirms it. But for you and I, talking about her and Sora, it's similar to an afterworld. So this is like an afterlife for them. Like, this is where they go when they die? Again, but we also have reincarnation with the player and Xehanort. Like, it's very confusing. It's very confusing. I really have to think over some of the stuff in regards to death in this series, because there's some things that conflict here, for sure. But yeah, we have Darkseid's big brother coming in. Oh, look at this, bro. Yo, right here, I thought he actually crushed somebody. I thought this freaking Heartless actually crushed somebody. Oh God, if that would have happened, he didn't. But if he had, I would have been like, damn. Like, they just yeeted a dude right on screen. Like, whoa. Okay, Kingdom Hearts definitely getting darker. Holy crap. So I actually have a theory about this guy. If you guys want to hear it, well, I'm going to tell you anyways, whether you want to hear or not. But I believe when it comes to Big Boy here, Darkseid's big brother, I believe what we're dealing with here is actually very similar to the Shadows and the Neo Shadows. So, you know, in previous Kingdom Hearts games, we've had the Shadows, which are your basic pure-blood Heartless, and then we have the Neo Shadows, which are an evolved form, a stronger form of the Shadow. I think we have something similar going on here. We have the Darkseid Heartless, which we are all accustomed to, and then we have this big boy right here. And I think this big boy right here is a Neo Darkseid. That's what I'm calling him from now on. Neo Darkseid. I think that's a cool name. I think it makes a ton of sense. You have Shadow, you have Neo Shadow, you have Darkseid, and now we have Neo Darkseid. And maybe this guy will be able to summon Neo Shadows, just like the Darkseid can summon Shadows. What do you think? But that's my theory about this guy at the moment. I'm going to call him Neo Darkseid. I like that. And yeah, right, this man right here, oh my god, you can tell that this game is based more on the real world, because dumbasses pulling out their phones while a big-ass kaiju monster is right in front of them, about to stomp their ass. Again, I actually thought somebody did get stomped by this thing early on, but yeah, dumbasses on their phone, you know, trying to get those YouTube views, recording a big ass kaiju that could crush their ass, and just like that. I mean, definitely Nomura knows how real people would react to these type of things. Oh, Sora looks so good. Alright, right here. Now, Sora pulls out his Keyblade. Some people thought that maybe Sora would be unable to summon his Keyblade, since this is a different reality, and maybe it operates through different laws in regards to the Keyblade, because the Keyblade kind of is a cosmic weapon to an extent. But nah, our boy still has the Kingdom Key Classic. And, oh man. It's looking better than ever. Look at this gameplay. Oh my goodness. Now, right here, at first, I thought that Sora was using a form change to turn his Keyblade into a whip, very similar to what Terra can do. But nah, he actually transformed the keychain itself into a whip. That's just freaking awesome, bro. That's just freaking awesome. I love it. And yeah, alright, so, something I do need to point out, the HUD and everything else does seem to be just a temporary thing for the trailer. You know, just something that they overlaid over the actual gameplay. Obviously not finalized. Very similar to the HUD that we got in the early trailers for Kingdom Hearts 3. Although the command menu, when it comes to the command menu, it is interesting. They have translated the commands, and of course you have your standard attack, magic, and items, but the very bottom command on the command menu says build. Not sure what that can mean combat wise, but my theory as of right now is that maybe it's a kind of evolution of what we had in the past, where, you know, in the tutorial, you could pick the sword, the shield, or the staff, and you can make Sora either more oriented towards strength, towards defense, or towards magic, respectively. Maybe here you can use the build command to switch him between different builds. You know, maybe in the main menu, you know, you can create different builds for Sora. You know, like maybe one build that you can create for Sora is based on strength, while another build orients Sora towards magic. And then you can switch between different builds and change Sora's play style on the fly during combat. That's just kind of my working theory right now on you know, what the build command could possibly indicate as far as how it will be used in combat in this game. And then, oh my god, this is so beautiful right here. Yo. And this next part seems to be an evolution of Shotlock, and it's pretty damn cool. But yeah, I mean, everything about this trailer, it's so much hype. It's very different than what I was expecting, but it's freaking amazing, bro. I mean, this is so refreshing. Like, that's the thing about this trailer. You know, it's very different from what I expected out of Kingdom Hearts 4, but at the same time, I love it for that, because it feels like the series is being rejuvenated. It's being revived, because, you know, as much as I love Kingdom Hearts, I have to admit it did somewhat become somewhat formulaic. And this seems to be really putting a spin on the entire series, and I think it's going to be good for the series in the long run. So now let's talk about these two characters right here. So I'm pretty sure the man with his hands behind his back is the Master of Masters. That's his standard pose. That's how, you know, he always seems to show up, with his hands behind his back. Almost guaranteed that this man right here is the Master of Masters. But the other hooded figure, we have no idea. The most common theory right now is that this is Lushu. But in all honesty, I don't know. I mean, Lushu is supposed to be in the main Kingdom Hearts universe with the Foreteller, so why would he be in Unreality? How would he even get to Unreality? I was thinking maybe this could be Luxord, or Luxord's original self, but then again, it doesn't seem like he knows the Master of Masters, because if he did, he would probably know Xigbar's true identity as Lushu. and that doesn't seem to be the case. Another idea is that if Strelitzia is here, maybe this other figure could be Marluxia, or rather Laurium, which means Elrena is also probably here too. Regardless, I'm sure with Strelitzia here in Quadratum, Laurium and Elrena are gonna be in this game for sure. So screw it. Right now, I'm saying this other hooded figure is probably Demyx. Okay, that's what I'm going with right now. It makes as much sense as anything else. All right, Kingdom Hearts 4 logo with the font change. And what is interesting about this is that they did come out and confirm that the reason they changed the font for the Kingdom Hearts logo is because this is considered the first game in the Lost Master saga. So they are really trying to differentiate this new saga from the Xehanort saga. Also, apparently Nomura was actually debating about whether to use the name Verum Rex in the title, but ultimately chose not to, as the Verum Rex title wouldn't, according to him, connect as well to Sora, since all the number titles are always focused on Sora, which does make sense. I can understand why Nomura decided just to go for Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm fine with that. I'm good with that. Makes sense to me. No big deal. I think we're going to get a lot of Verum Rex and Yozora in this game anyways. So then we have this final scene with Donald and Goofy seeking out Hades. Hades of all people to help find Sora. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think this could lead to a very interesting plot point. You know, with the final world, with the Union Cross player reincarnating into Xehanort, Quadratum doubling as an afterlife of some sort, it would make sense to bring in the God of the Dead. If we're going to be talking about death and the afterlife, you know, why not bring in Hades, the Lord of the Underworld? I have been wondering for quite some time now, really since Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, how does the Underworld tie into the overall mythos of Kingdom Hearts and the way that the series handles death? And what is interesting is that when it comes to Hades, Hades was able to summon Auron in Kingdom Hearts 2, and it is heavily implied that the Auron in Kingdom Hearts 2 is in fact the same Auron from Final Fantasy X. Most Final Fantasy characters in the Kingdom Hearts series are alternate universe versions of their original counterparts. They have different lives, they have different backstories, they're not the same characters, they're just representations of the characters. They're cameos, basically. They're all just, that's the best way to think of them, is as alternate universe versions of that character, of those characters that exist in the Kingdom Hearts universe. But Auron does seem to be the exception. If Auron in Kingdom Hearts is the same Auron from Final Fantasy X, that means that Hades pulled Auron from an afterlife in a completely different reality into the Kingdom Hearts universe via his power over the dead, I guess? And putting the pieces together, that may be why Donald and Goofy are going out to find Hades. Maybe they think that Hades could do the same thing for Sora that he did for Auron. Because apparently, according to Strelitzia, Sora is, well, kind of dead. I mean, you know, he's in Quadratum, and Quadratum's apparently his afterlife, so he's kind of dead. So if Hades can pull Auron from another afterlife and another reality, why can't Hades also pull Sora from another afterlife and another reality? It kind of makes sense. It really does. So this is a very interesting plot twist, and it's going to be very interesting to see where it goes for sure. So taking a step back a little bit, get a little bit of better imagery on the screen. We got one more point that I do want to talk about here. And the last thing that I do want to say is there was a couple of big things missing from the trailer. Well, more like a couple of big people missing. No Riku and no Yozora. We know that Riku went to Quadratum to find Sora, and we know that Yozora lives in Quadratum, so I'm really surprised that we saw nothing of either of those two, unless what if the other hooded person next to the Master of Masters is in fact either Riku or Yozora? Could be one of them. If it were, probably more than likely this would be Yozora. I don't know why Riku would work with the Master of Masters, because they don't really have a connection as far as I know. But Yozora might have a connection to the Master of Masters. Who knows? So this may be Yozora? Possibly, potentially. I kind of don't think so, because this character looks too tall to be Yozora. I don't think Yozora is quite as tall as this character, so I don't think it's him. I'm kind of leaning more towards maybe Demyx. I don't know. But that's going to wrap it up, guys. That is my analysis for the Kingdom Hearts 4 reveal trailer. This was so unexpected. This was such a huge surprise. I was not expecting the series to go this far in this direction, but I'm hyped for it all the same. I mean, this is really exciting. I think this could really rejuvenate the series and really, breathe some new life into it. As far as the release date goes, I don't think it's going to come out next year. I've heard some people say 2023. I don't think that's going to happen. I would say more than likely, fingers crossed, what I'm hoping for is 2024. I would love to get Dark Road this year, Missing Link next year, and then in 2024 we get Kingdom Hearts 4. That I think could potentially happen. At the latest, I'm hoping it comes out no later than 2025. If it was after 2025, that's going to be such a struggle to wait. But fingers crossed, I'm hoping for a 2024 release for Kingdom Hearts 4. Anyways, leave your thoughts on this trailer down in the comments section below. Please hit the like button, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, because we've got a lot more Kingdom Hearts content coming up in the next few days and in the future going forward. Definitely going to be covering Kingdom Hearts 4 and other stuff. We're going to be doing some gameplay with previous Kingdom Hearts games. We got Let's Plays coming, all sorts of Kingdom Hearts content coming to the channel very, very soon. So please subscribe and click the bell for notifications to get all of that. I should also add before I go, Nomura did say that it's going to be a while before we get any more news on Kingdom Hearts 4. He said that honestly they were not planning to announce it this early originally, but they decided to go ahead and reveal the game because they didn't want it to get leaked. So they wanted to get ahead of leakers. Maybe they had some kind of clue, some kind of hint that somebody, some kind of heads up that somebody was going to leak Kingdom Hearts 4. Of course, it already kind of did get leaked with the NVIDIA leaks last year, and those NVIDIA leaks have proven to be right every single time. So I don't know what to tell you. It kind of already did get leaked, but Nomura wanted to get ahead of the curve. But he did say that it's going to be a while before we get more news on Kingdom Hearts 4. And honestly, I'm fine with that. This was a lot to chew on and digest for months and months to come. And then we've got Dark Road coming up at the end of the summer. I'm hoping, I hope it's not too long. Maybe we'll get more Kingdom Hearts 4 news. Maybe towards the end of the year, maybe at Jump Festa, something like that. I would be fine with that. And then I'm expecting we're going to get Kingdom Hearts 4 news next year. But it's going to be a while before we get more Kingdom Hearts 4 news. But we got fed pretty good. The Kingdom Hearts fans got fed pretty good at the Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary event. I'm very happy with this event. I'm very happy with where the series is heading, and I can't wait to play more Kingdom Hearts going forward. So again, hit the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications, stay with us, more Kingdom Hearts content to come. Until the next video, I'm signing out. I'm Jessica James, and I'll see you in the next video.